Hey everybody, are you ready for another ghost story? We are. This time we're going to tell you about the ghost cows. Folks, it's the Coyote and Mrs. Coyote. And yes, the Coyote cats are here too somewhere. I think they're resting now. Thank God. But anyway, we're going to tell you another ghost story. Aren't you, Mrs. Coyote? Huh? Mrs. Coyote is yawning because it's past her bedtime. She can't stay up late. You know, we've been together. Well, can I tell how long we've been together?
Sure.
23 years.
That's 5.
Yeah, she's 5. Anyway, yeah, she's 5 years old. But anyway, when I met her. But anyhow, we've been together 23 years, and we have never watched the end of a movie together.
I knew you was going to say that.
Yeah, because she goes to sleep as soon as the movie starts. 30 minutes in, she's gone. Anyhow, you don't want to wake her up when she's asleep. No. Anyway, let's tell the story. This story happened to me. I witnessed this when I was a kid. Right. I grew up in a log cabin I built myself in Kentucky. No. I always wanted to say that.
Oh, you're so cute. Yeah.
Anyhow, I grew up. Yes, I did. I'm here. Proof that I grew up. Anyhow, you're going to cause me to start laughing and being stupid, and I won't be able to get back straight. Anyway, all right. When I was young, I lived next to a cow pasture, for real. Where cows was raised and they was took off to the market ever so often and new ones was brought in. This went on for quite a while. And our family we had visited was used to the cows being in the pasture. Well, the people that had the cows finally decided they was tired of running cattle. So they completely got rid of them. And they'd been gone a couple of years when my aunt actually and her oldest son, I believe it was, Bob, come to visit us, as people did back in those days. This would be like the early 70s. You know, and country folks would come to visit, especially if they moved away. My aunt and her family had moved away to, I believe it was Chicago or maybe somewhere in Michigan. But anyway, they'd moved away and become city folks there. But they came back to visit my grandmother, who was alive at the time, and the family, and they'd stay with us a few days, and then they'd go, stay with other family members a few days. And that's the way a lot of people spent their vacations back then, instead of going off and spending every dime they've got at Disney World or somewhere. They would come and visit family and stay with them and visit. But I don't guess people does that much anymore. But anyhow, my cousin Bob, one night, decides he's wanting to go out and have a smoke outside on the porch and walk around, because he was a night person and he enjoyed that. So it was probably about 11:30, maybe midnight, and my grandmother was in the kitchen. I always remember my grandmother in the kitchen doing something, man. She's canning, washing dishes or cooking or something. I always remember in the kitchen, but she was in the kitchen even this late, and I'm kind of having company. And it was summertime, there's no school, I was up. All excited about the company as usual. Well, Bob goes out and has, gets a couple of smokes and walks around a while. And he comes back in, and my grandmother asked him if everything's all right. And he says, oh, yeah. I said, I have forgot how peaceful it was in the country. I said, I really enjoyed out there. I said, that's why I didn't come back in for a while. So I just really enjoyed walking around and smoking a cigarette and looking at the night, and said it was really great. So those cows over there in that pasture, so they just come right up to the fence. They was almost close enough for me to see them, so that I could hear them. Said mooed at me and stuff. I said I kind of talked to him a while there, and everything. So it was just a beautiful experience, you know. And it's wonderful living in a country where you can experience things like that. You know, he went on explaining this, and after he got done, my grandmother said, "Bob," so there's not been cows in that pasture for over 2 years. So they don't put cows over there anymore. So there's nothing there, Bob. And Bob, who was always kind of pale anyway, because like I said, he's a night person, got really pale at that point in time. And he said they was up, said they just within a few feet of me. He said if it had been the lights, said I could have seen them. My grandmother said whatever it was, said it wasn't cows. He said, but they moved, they snorted and stuff. I heard them walking in the leaves and stuff. And for the rest of the stay with us, Bob didn't go outside after dark there because of the ghost cows. Now here's the kicker to that. Is after that, we started hearing stuff move around that pasture that sounded just like the cows did when they run and hit. We'd occasionally hear them snort, and sometimes you kind of maybe hear them move, but that being the distance, you know, we never heard them as close as Bob claimed to hear them that night. But no, Bob, I don't think Bob ever went back outside at our place after dark. I mean, in the visits years later. I don't think he ever went outside after sunset at our house again when he visited because of the ghost cows. And like I said, we hear the ghost cows.
Ghost
ourselves.
deers, probably.
Yeah, well.
But the deers don't move, do they?
No, that's right. Deers don't move.
But they do snort.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
noises.
yeah. Well, God knows what it was. Maybe it's a couple of drunks over there.
Or maybe
Come
somebody
around,
from distance.
Anyhow, the look. If you'd had video then, you could have. Just the look on Bob's face when my granny told him so there ain't been cows over there in over 2 years. That would have went viral on YouTube. Just the look on my cousin's face when he found out he'd been out at midnight communing with ghost cows who had long since went to the slaughterhouse and been served up on somebody's grill. But their spirits were still roaming
Poor
that
cows.
pasture. Now they may still be there till today. I've often thought of going back by there and stopping off about midnight and seeing if I could hear the cows.
Isn't there a curve on up the road called Moo Cow Curve?
No, that's another whole location, but and that's another whole story. I'm gonna do a video on that one day because that's crazy too. But hope you guys have enjoyed this Halloween special ghost story, the ghost cows. Moo. Hey, if you enjoyed our little story, like, share, subscribe, tell people about it. We appreciate you watching. See you next time. Mrs. Coyote and me.
Oh my goodness.
And the cats. Bye-bye from the cats.
Bye.